After the British Grand Prix, Staf was still reeling from his astonishing result. He had surprised friend and foe alike with that comeback drive. Back home, he was greeted by Marie. He hugged her tightly and gave big kisses to little Sebastian. Over dinner, he told her all about the battles he'd fought on the track after his spin. He couldn't contain his enthusiasm. Marie was equally proud of her husband. The next week, Staf found himself in the paddock of the Monaco Grand Prix, his second race at the highest level. Johnny, his team boss, came up to him, grinning, saying that his drive was nothing short of a miracle. And then, the two Alfa Romeo titans, Fangio and Farina, approached the young Belgian. They offered quiet words of advice. Be more careful, they warned. This is a dangerous sport. But their tone softened, and they both admitted that they'd enjoyed the duel. They acknowledged the truth. Staf had outdriven the aging Talbot Lago, and he had some serious skill. Johnny looked at him with pride. I knew I was right to sign you, he said, his grin widening. Before practice began, Staf took a final walk around his car. No overheating. Gearing felt just right. Everything is in order. He suited up, pulled on his gloves, and climbed into the cockpit. The noise of the pit lane faded into the background. It was time. The second Grand Prix of his life was about to begin. And now I'll take you to the results of the practice session of the 1950 Monaco Grand Prix. Your top 5 are Farina, Fangio, Fagioli, Ascari and Rosier. Here you have the second half of the free practice results. And then there you have the last ones. Staf Vermeulen is in 23rd place. And this is the qualifying session. Staf goes out for his first flying lap. And this is the start of his first flying lap. He goes around the final corner, up to the first corner, start finish straight, goes into 4th place, brakes hard, shifts down, second gear, 30 kilometers an hour, and he goes up slowly at first, but he's making speed. Let's see how this first lap goes for Staf Vermeulen. He doesn't shift down for the first corner or the second corner. Going up the hill, almost 170 kilometers an hour. Now he hits it, shifts down, 125 kilometers an hour, hits the curb. He loses control of the car and spins out. And that's the end of his first flying lap, unfortunately. Fortunately, he can go on. Here we have the end of the first flying lap. So that he can still post a time. It's a 1:49.496. And now he's gonna go for a second flying lap immediately after. He wants to get a better time. That is the competitor in Staf Vermeulen. Yellow flags have been called out, apparently, so he has to pay attention. But he goes through the first or second corner without issue, going up the hill once again, shifts down, takes it slower, but still spins the car and hits the barrier. That's the end of his lap. Now he's gonna go for another flying lap. Let's see how that one goes. Will he spin out or will he improve that lap he put in previously? 1:36.388 to beat for pole position. Unfortunately, we all know that the Talbot Lago is not up to speed. It is not the best car on the grid. I'll let you enjoy the sound of the engine for now. He's 7 seconds up on his previous lap. He's going down to station hairpin. Takes it in second place and spins. Doesn't spin the car, but slides his car almost through the hairpin. And now he's at Portier. Second gear still. It gives him a great drive out of that corner. And now he's going through the tunnel. Let's see how he can manage that chicane. I believe that will cause problems for many competitors. 8 seconds up on his previous time. Shifts down into second gear to get the better drive out of that corner. What lap time is it going to be? It's going to be a 1:47.45. This is the end of another lap. Does he improve? No, he does not. It's a slower lap. What happens here? Nothing. It's just the start of another lap. And at the end of that lap, he spins the car around. Unfortunately. Let's see what he's gonna do. He spins it around and we'll go for another lap probably. He goes through the start-finish line. First gear corner, and that's got better drive out of it, so maybe he will go faster. I'll let you enjoy this lap in peace. Staf is through the tunnel, going to that chicane. He navigates it effortlessly, and he's already 1.5 seconds up on his previous best time. Second gear, corner, good drive out of it. And now he storms to the start-finish straight. And will it be a better lap? Yes, it is. It's a 1:39.191. And that was Staf's final lap. Here you see him go into the pits.
Pit crew ready.
Here we have the reconnaissance lap, in which Staf will find his place on the grid and wait for the rest to arrive for the start of the race. And now I'll take you to the starting grid. Nino Farina lines up on pole position once again. Alberto Ascari takes P2, Rosier in P3 and Roll in P4. Homeboy Louis Chiron takes 5th position with Fangio lining up next to him. Whitehead 7th, Parnell 8th, De Graffenried 9th and Biondetti rounds out the top 10. Luigi Fagioli takes up P11, Robert Manzon 12th, Bob Gerard 13th and our hero Staf Vermeulen 14th. Levesque takes P15, Shell P16, Pian 17th, and Giro Cabantu takes P18. Pozzi takes P19, with Bonetto lining up next to him. Villoresi starts the top 20 in P21. Raymond Sommer takes P22, Chabot P23, Étancelin 24th place, Johnson P25, Trintignant 26th, Gonzalez 27th, Hampshire in P28, Crossley in P29, Fry 30th, Prince Bira in 31st, and Gus Harrison 32nd. second. The last 4 positions have been disqualified from qualifying, having run too many laps. Let's go to the race. Here we are on the starting grid. Staf Vermeulen lines up 14th position. Engines are revving. And they are off. What a start by Staf Vermeulen. What a start. Oh, and there hits the number 36 car, Luigi Fagioli. He still hits some cars, but he has had an amazing start. That is incredible. We all knew that he was talented after the British Grand Prix, and he is still going. He tries to maintain the lead. He is in P4 right now. No, he's been overtaken. Will he get that number 18 car? Yes, he will. What a turn he has had. What a turn. And now I'll take you to the cockpit view to see what Staf is seeing. Here we have Staf going through Massenet and Casino, and is up going to a Mirabeau corner, brakes, as we hear that some people retire, and now he's going to the station hairpin, which he takes in first gear, 30 kilometers an hour, really slow corner. Now he's going off to Portier, but he feels that something is off with the steering. All of a sudden he drifts. He's trying to keep Peter Whitehead behind him. He has less than a second. Whitehead is gaining. Whitehead is gaining. He's past the tunnel. He's going to the chicane. He's going to the chicane. He brakes, but the car doesn't turn, and he crashes and he loses a wheel. He loses a wheel. Let's take a look at the replay. Let's take a look at that violent crash. I hope Staf is okay. I hope Staf is okay. He's made a mistake and crashed into the barriers. And that is the end of Staf's race. Even though that's the end of Staf's race, let's take a look at replays of incidents that happened during the 1950 Monaco Grand Prix. Here we see Farina retiring. He rolls his car. Violent crash. I hope he's okay. But that's it for Farina. And now we see a replay of Bonetto violently spinning, crashing into the barriers, and then crashing into a wall, and that's the end of his race. Here we see Fagioli going out of the tunnel into the chicane where Staf crashed, and Fagioli crashes too into the marina. My god, what a crash. I hope he's okay too. And here we have Franco Roll, who rolls his car, so it's fitting for his name. And that's the end of his race. Here we have Levesque retiring. He spins his car and stalls the engine. Here we have Prince Bira out of the tunnel in a battle with the number 26 car, and Bira also crashes into the barrier and stalls his engine. This is Fangio, a replay of Fangio, who also crashes into the barrier and launches himself into the marina. Here we have Gonzalez doing the same mistake. He crashes into the barrier and into the marina. Here we have Harrison battling with the number 12 car. I believe that is Maurice Trintignant. And he almost got him into the station hairpin. And into Portier maybe? No, they touched slightly, but everything's still okay. No, Harrison has not overtaken Trintignant. They go into the tunnel. Let's see how it goes. He's in the slipstream. He's gaining. He's gaining. Is he gaining? I don't know. It looks like it, but he makes a mistake, crashes, and also loses a wheel. Almost an exact copy of Vermeulen. This is a replay of Parnell retiring. Same crash. Violent crash into the marina. I hope he's okay. Here we have a replay of Ascari also battling Maurice Trintignant. Into Portier. Does he take him? Yes, yes, he has taken him. Oh, what a slide, but he makes the move stick. And there he crashes into the barrier. Don't know what happened there. He has made a mistake. And Ascari goes on into the tunnel. Does he have an issue with his car after that crash? He misjudges his braking. No, yes, he spins. And gets almost collected. And boom, he stalls his engine. Here we have a replay of Toulon de Graffenried making an overtake in the first or second turn here on the number 14 car. Here we have Philippe Étincelin, the number 14 car, who spins. He was gaining on a car, but he spins and loses a wheel, crashing into the wall. Here we have a three-way battle with Peter Whitehead. He has overtaken the blue car. They come up onto the chicane and Whitehead spins it, gets collected, and gets collected again. And it's really a shame that he got spun there. And oh my god, they almost got collected again. And we have another replay of Whitehead in a three-way battle. What's going to happen here? And he crashes violently. You can see the damage how he gets run into. And that's the end of his race. And in that same incident, we see another replay. Pion retires as well with a stalled engine. Here we have Biondetti that is battling away. Is he going to overtake? He is close, he is close, he's closing in. He is closing in. But he misjudges his braking and gets launched into the marina as well. Here we have Bob Gerard unlapping himself from the first lead. And he takes the lead himself right now by unlapping himself. So Bob Gerard is your leader. He goes through the first corner hairpin. And that's the last we will see of him. Here we have a replay of Maurice Trintignant rolling his car and retiring. He got out of the car safely. And here we have Shabu, a replay. He was flying all race long, catching people, but he stalls his car after a spin. And this is Bob Gerard taking the win at the 1950 Monaco Grand Prix. Congratulations to the number 26 car, Bob Gerard, taking a well-deserved victory after such a drive. And this is Pozzi taking the second spot on the podium. He finishes P2 after a well-deserved drive. And here we have Leslie Johnson, a lap down, but he finishes in P3. So these are your top three: Gerard, Pozzi, and Leslie Johnson. With Johnson a lap down. Heartbroken, Staf could only watch from the pits as his competitors raced on. He had no one to blame but himself. The suspension damage came after he collided with Fagioli. A costly mistake. The Alfa Romeo duo had warned him in the paddock. Be more careful, this is a dangerous sport. But Staf hadn't listened. He was still riding the high of that incredible launch, from P14 to P4 in just a few corners. But then came the chicane. The car didn't respond, the turn never came. He clipped the barrier, and in an instant his race was over. Johnny tried to offer words of support, but Staf barely heard them. Disappointment clouded everything. He had let Johnny down, he had let his family down. The sting of regret settled in as he sat in silence, running through everything he could have done differently. He wallowed in that self-pity until the checkered flag fell, shocked to learn that only 3 drivers had finished the race. 3. Johnny, still beside him, placed a hand on his shoulder. Go home, Staf. Regroup. Focus on the next one, he said. That's when it hit Staf. He had forgotten to tell Marie that the next race, the Indianapolis 500, was just days away. He had to leave for the United States the day after Monaco. Rushing home, he broke the news. Marie listened as he recounted his crash, then wrapped him in quiet encouragement. But when he mentioned the trip to the States, her expression changed. Frustration, then understanding. She reminded him of something simple, something grounding. "You're still my husband," she said, "and a father."